In this video, I've got a 3 by 2.5 metre cabin office to build. Now I've had my cabin delivered, it's right here, it's ready to go. The only thing that isn't ready to go is the base. Now when it comes to choosing the right type of base for your cabin or garden room, it can be a little bit tricky trying to navigate what might be the best option for you. There's so many options to choose from. You've got concrete pad, you've got timber frame with timber posts, there's eco bases, and there's even ground screws. Now the area of the garden that this is actually going is going to be right here, tucked in this corner. And when I was choosing my base, I wanted something that was going to be quick, something that could be uninstalled in the future if possible. Not as messy as concrete, so I don't want to skip, I don't want mess everywhere. I just want something that's clean, easy and efficient. And for that,
I've chosen the most innovative, reliable and rapid base system currently available on the market. And that
is ground screws, which is basically one of these, but super sized.
The big plus for me is I live in a rented property, so should I choose to take the new building with me, I can simply unscrew them, and I've now saved myself buying new screws if I move to a new house. Now there is definitely a price difference when it comes to a sturdy base for your garden room, so make sure you stick around till the end of the video where I'll be doing a cost breakdown of all of the different types of bases. The company I've chosen to install my base is none other than the team that takes care of every single one of our ground screw bases, and that is GS for you. What they're about to install for me is a nothing to these guys in comparison to the big projects they usually do, but what is something to us both is this drain that the guys have informed me runs right in the middle of where the base is going. This could cause a big problem because if we were to put one of these big screws through the drain, it could spell disaster and result in thousands of pounds of damage. The last thing we want is a hefty repair bill.
Now that might have been a little bit dramatic, but it is still quite serious and something they do need to get around, and for that they're going to use two different size screws.
For the back and the front of where the building is going, they're going to be using 1.25 metre screws, and for the middle to be safe, 1 metre long screws to ensure we don't go near that pipe. Before any screws can go in, they need to mark where they're all going, and for this build we're going for 9 screws in total. They've pegged this out on the ground and put up a string line to make sure it's all square and all straight. Next up, they'll drill a 25mm pilot hole with a masonry bit. Firstly, this ensures there's no big rocks in the way of the screw's new home, and secondly, it reduces a bit of the pressure on the bigger drill they'll use in just a moment. And while Cav gets all of the pilot holes drilled, Lance is starting off all of the screws with a few turns by hand and taking down the string line, because we definitely don't want that getting tangled around a screw. And then it's time for the biggest drill I think I've ever seen. This is exactly what it looks like to put the screws in real time. It's not the quickest process, but it's not like the screws are the smallest thing either. Speed that up a bit because we haven't got all day, and that is the first screw in, and that beeping is the laser level telling us that the screw we've just put in is within 0.5 millimetre of level. With the first screw in, the following screws went in pretty easily, that much so that they let me loose on the big drill putting one in. And while I do get this in, now would be a great time to hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. It's completely free and helps us reach people that need help with their own garden rooms. The good thing about this big drill is you can micro adjust if needed, meaning even the screw I put in was absolutely dead level. Now you'll see Lance is actually holding a bar that comes off the drill, and that is because there's so much torque in this drill to get screws this big in the ground that this bar is needed to stop the drill from breaking anyone's arms. The ground screw guys were that impressed with my first screw that I put in that they even let me do another. It's then on to the very last screw, and with the final approval from my little pooch Daisy, that is one completely level base in every direction. The amount of weight these screws can actually take is nothing short of impressive, with a 1 metre screw able to take 15 to 25 kilonewtons of weight per screw in ideal soil conditions. Translated in relative terms, that's 1.5 to 2.5 tons, which is crazy. Now, let's talk costings. For a timber post and timber frame for a building of my size, you're looking anywhere between £500 to £900. For ground screws and a timber frame, you can expect to pay between £700 to £900, and for a concrete base, you could be looking to pay between £700 to over £1,000. Now, which one would you prefer? Let me know in the comments below.
And that is one ground screw base ready to build on. Big shout out to the boys. Thank you very much.
No worries,
appreciate it, man. Away we go. Let's build.
A huge shout out to the guys over at GS for you to book in with them to get your garden room off to the best start. make sure you look at their link in the description below. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button and I'll see you guys in the next video.